Hi, I'm Richard Baron, General Manager of the Quad Association of South Africa, also known as QASA, QASA. We empower people with physical disabilities, particularly those with spinal cord injuries, to live independent and fulfilled lives. Through advocacy, support services, and partnerships, we break down barriers and create opportunities nationwide. Join us every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. on the Health and Wellness Show with Princess as we discuss important topics around accessibility and inclusion. For more info, visit qasa.co.za.
It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, villagers. You still tuned into Skills Village Radio. This is the Health and Awareness Show. Health and Awareness Show. My name is Hlumisa. And thank you so much for choosing us, villagers. Today with us, we've got Sandile Mkhize, an ambassador for the Wings for Life World Run, which is coming up on Sunday, the 4th of May 2025. And we've also got Mariska Morris with us today. She is the coordinator at QASA. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, Sandile, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. We truly appreciate it here at Skills Village Radio. Can you please tell us about the Wings for Life run and what makes it different from traditional races?
Yeah, sure. So the Wings for Life World Run happens every single year where everybody around the world, people run at the exact same time. So if you're in South Africa, you'll start at 1 p.m. If you're in New York, you'll start at a different time. And there is no finish line. So basically what this means is we all start running and then a catcher car starts chasing us after 30 minutes. And then eventually the car will catch you. And the moment the car catches you, your race is done. And this is all done to raise money for spinal cord research.
Hmm. Fun. It seems fun. Thank you so much for sharing that. How did you become involved with the Wings for Life, and what what does being an ambassador mean for you personally, specifically for you?
Oh, no, yeah. So I was injured in 2013 from a motorcycle accident.
Mm-hmm.
And, after many years of sort of therapy and healing, my therapist at the time asked me to check out this race. And once I checked it out, I found out that, there's people that look like me that are participating. And I just jumped in, no pun intended. And yeah, ever since then, I've been trying to raise awareness for the sole reason that, like I said, the money that is raised goes towards spinal cord research and finding a cure for spinal cord injury, which is
Yes.
obviously something I care about a lot. And yeah, I just find my role in it is to help get the message out there, get people to sign up. More resources means more work can be done, and yeah, hopefully we find a cure within my lifetime.
Hmm. You've actually answered my next question. You've literally like almost summed up everything. But how is spinal cord research such an important cause to you, and how do you see such events being impacted? The Wings for Life, such as the Wings for Life event, how do you see it as it being impactful?
Well, I mean, I appreciate the scientific process of finding solutions to problems that we have as humans, and unfortunately, this is the one thing we have not been able to figure out, especially the sensitivities of nerve damage that happen within spinal cord research. I mean, spinal cord injuries. But the reason why it matters to me is because yeah, somebody gets hurt, we normally put a plaster on. If somebody breaks a spine, there's not much we can do. So, if I can eventually contribute to something that can maybe help people not go through what I went through, of course, I'll give it all my energy.
Hmm. Yes, I agree. I hear you. Yeah. So villagers, we are not here with Sunny alone. We are also here with Mariska Morris. How are you doing today, Mariska?
I'm well and yourself.
I'm very well, thank you. I do have a question for you as well. Don't
Okay.
feel like I'm leaving you there. Um, yeah. How is Kwasa involved? in the Wings for Life World Run, and what does the partnership mean for your organization at QASA?
Yeah, I mean, I think as Sandile said, there really is very little that can be done to assist people with spinal cord injuries in terms of rehabilitation. The best we can hope for is to regain as much mobility as possible through rehabilitation. And obviously, we also hope that there is a possibility of finding a cure. And the work that the Wings for Life Foundation is doing is quite significant. They've really gone and I think they fund multiple research projects, and all of those projects are making really great strides in understanding how that nerve damage works and things like that. And as an organization who supports people with spinal cord injuries, we do want to contribute to that nationally as well. And we're very excited. We've been partnering with Red Bull for a couple of years now because they host the app events in South Africa, which I'm sure Sandile can speak a bit about as well.
Yes.
But we have partnered with them for several years, and they each year give us the incredible opportunity to have some of our members at the actual race handing out the medals to the participants as they're finishing up. And I think that is such a beautiful thing for both sides, for the people who are participating to also see the actual people that they're running for and the impact it makes in their lives. And then also for the wheelchair users to be able to greet the runners and, thank them for the effort that they put in and all of that. So we're really grateful. We think it's such a great initiative, and yeah, we're just very happy to be participating in it as well.
Yes, I agree. As you said, Sandile will be unpacking has the experience that for him as well. Sandile, over to you. You've overcome a lot in your life, and can you share with us about your personal journey and how it's connected you with the mission of Wings for Life? Hi, Sandile. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, hear me now. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, well, to start from the beginning,
Yes.
I don't necessarily think I was a particularly selfish person, but you're young, you're very self-involved, and you think you're invincible. So nobody really plans for a life-changing event like this. And
True.
unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, I was confronted with my mortality after the injury. And it kind of made me feel like, okay, I need to sort of reinvent myself. There's a new purpose for being alive. And what is that purpose? I can no longer just drift through the world, so to speak.
Yes.
And through a lot of sort of searching and, trying to make sense of the madness at the time, I realized that I think the only thing I truly care about, like deeply, is actually not being problematic and also leaving this world better than I found it. And this has kind of just been the motivation from there to, try to do good, be kind and understanding and contribute. I'm always very clear about this, that I don't necessarily think I'm a nice person. I think I'm, in terms of doing this, I think I'm a decent person, but this is a very, I do this because it makes me happy. And I do this because it makes me feel useful. And yeah, this is my motivation, and this is what has kept me going.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your life. Some motivation for all of us. I myself am a person living with disability, a person that's living with a disability, and sometimes I do feel like, I don't have the motivation for the day or for this week. I don't feel like showing up. And yeah, man, there's always that day, those days where you feel like, no, man. But yeah, thank you so much. And my next question is, what message do you hope to send to people that are participants and listeners through your role as an ambassador?
I think the obvious thing, number one, is it's okay to have a bad day. We all go through these things. Me personally, I try not to have 2 bad days in a row. But for everybody participating and everybody who would like to participate, it's really something that matters, and it's also a good way to spend the day. It's your way to actively contribute into, making people's lives better. And on top of that, Um, how else can I say? But we always appreciate humans coming together at such scale, because when that happens, amazing things happen. So, yeah, if anybody would like to come through, please join. I personally will be at the Centurion run, so yeah, it'll be nice to meet in person, exchange some high fives, and maybe a couple of beers. So please come through.
Yeah, man. Speaking of engagement and also meeting you, how can people get involved in the run, especially those that might not consider themselves as runners?
Like I said, this race is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a moving finish line. You can get more details at wingsforlifeworldrun.com. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can also speak to me personally or reach out. My handle is Hello Sandile on all platforms, and I'm more than willing to assist and answer any questions anybody might have.
Yeah, villagers surely check Sandile out on at Hello Sandile.
Yes, ma'am.
You said yes. Okay, please do go engage with Sandile on his platforms. As he said, should you have in any wish to communicate with him, villagers, please do go and check him out. And the run happens all over the world, right?
Yep.
What's like to be part of such a massive global movement?
I mean, it's amazing. I don't want to sort of prop it up as much, but number one, there's nothing in the world that happens like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I appreciate the connection that not only do my immediate loved ones and family around me care about finding a cure, there's humans around the world doing the exact same thing. And I think
Yes.
sort of that special connection just makes it a little bit more special for me, which is why I'll probably do this race for the rest of my life, for sure.
Mm. Speaking of, so perhaps share with us some of your most memorable moments for the past years as with for the Wings for Life World Runs. What are your most memorable moments shared?
Ooh, I would have to say the run in 2017. And the reason for this is this was the year me and a couple of friends from the Oakle Global team, we decided to run and hand cycle from Cape Town all the way to Joburg. So
Wow.
this took us 10 days, and the
Yeah.
final day, the Wings for Life World Run, was our finished run, our finish line. So that was quite special, and was just a wonderful, beautiful thing. This was when it was still at the Centurion Supersport Stadium. Yeah, that I think was the highlight of the races so far.
Hmm. Cool, man. That is quite cool. From Joburg to Cape Town. You guys.
Cape Town to Joburg, Cape Town to Joburg.
Oh, from Cape Town to Joburg.
Yes.
Sorry. No, that's quite a distance. That's cool. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for Mariska as well. Mariska,
Yes.
how does QASA use events like this to empower individuals with spinal cord injuries and bring visibility to stories and challenges?
Yeah, I think something that's maybe not spoken about nearly enough, is for many wheelchair users, it can be quite isolating to have your disability. Not everybody is privileged enough to be able to go back to ease. It might not be accessible for them to travel. All of those things might be affecting their lives. And so creating spaces where it is accessible, and like this event is specifically for wheelchair users to also participate. Like we want them to be there as well and join in on the fun. And if you need someone to help push you, you can get a runner to do that for you. And people really want to help. And so I think that's just such a great opportunity for them to also network and socialize. And I mean, every year we have so many volunteers willing to come and help out handing out medals, because it's such a great opportunity for them to also participate and be part of the festivities. And then we also do like to highlight some wheelchair users. It's been several years now, but I know recently, again, a few years ago, a wheelchair user was actually the person who won the race and
Yes.
traveled the furthest. I think he traveled over 70 kilometers on the day with the run, because he was out racing the car. So it's stories like that is such a wonderful way to just also show some of the newly injured people, there's so much more to look forward to after the injury. Like, it's not the end of your life. You still have so much to do and participate in. And so definitely I think it's such a valuable event, and we're very grateful to be part of it.
And also, you exactly summed it up. I was also about to ask, as someone that works closely with the spinal cord injury community, and how does this event represent, what does it represent for you personally and professionally? But you've summed it up. Man, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can say when I joined QASA, well, even before I joined QASA, I was working on the magazine. And so I was very new to spinal cord injury. I was very new to disability in general. And I remember going to my very first Wings for Life run as an assignment for for the magazine. And it was such an empowering experience to see not only wheelchair users really enjoying themselves, going out and having fun, but also to see how the community would rally around them. The Cape Town run is not very, it's quite flat, so it's a very easy run. But the one in Centurion does have quite a few hills that you have to cover. And it's so amazing to see how quickly a runner would stop and be like, hey, can I quickly push you up the hill? How much help do you need? And I think it's such an powerful thing to see and to know that, we do want to help each other as a community. So, and the Wings for Life run personally has also now become like a family thing. So I've got a few family members who will be joining me again this year in Cape Town.
Very exciting. Please take content for the QASA page. I will be checking you guys out.
Yes,
I'll follow you guys.
I'll definitely do that. And to kind of tie in with what you were asking Sandile earlier, really the run is for everybody. So again, previous years I've gone with my parents who are older and with my sister-in-law and brothers. My brother's an actual runner. He does marathons and things like that. So his aim is to run 17, 20, whatever kilometers on the day. My aim might be to do 5 kilometers, and my parents' aim might be to do 3. So you don't go there with the idea of, I have to do 20 kilometers. If you can only do 1 before you get caught by the catcher car, that's fine. Come dress up, have fun. This year my sister-in-law is pregnant, so she'll be walking the run. She's not planning on running at all, actually. She's just going to have a fun walk. But it's just about being part of the community and having fun, getting out there, supporting a good cause. And it's always, always so much fun, especially if you can join. So you can join, I don't know if Sandile mentioned this, so I'll mention it now. If you register for the event, because we don't have in-person events in South Africa anymore, there used to be in-person events and there would be an actual car that passes you on the road, but we don't have that anymore in South Africa. So you have to download the Wings for Life app, register online, download the app, and then on the day, you're running with the app open. So the app is tracking you as you go. And then on the app, you can see how the car is actually catching up with you, and it tells you how far the car is away from you, which is kind of scary. And you can always see people start running when the car gets close to them because they want to catch an extra couple of meters before it passes them. So you open the app, you get tracked on the app. So, but what Red Bull South Africa has done, which is really awesome, is they now have app events. So everybody gathers either in like Green Point or Kibera, I think is the other one, and then Centurion. We get together, and then everybody still runs on their app, but they play music and they've got big screens. That's also where QASA would be handing out medals. You get a T-shirt if you sign up. You get free Red Bulls. It's just such a vibe. So if you can make it to those venues, I say definitely do it. But even if you can't, still join in. They play music over the app. They make it really fun. at the end of the day, you're giving back to such an important cause.
Yes, I like that you mentioned that your sister will be just chilling there and giving you guys moral support.
Oh no, she's participating. She's gonna walk. She's gonna walk the ride.
Walk. Oh, I thought you said she's gonna be just sitting. She won't be like
No,
walking because of the
she's
distance.
in her pregnant state. She's gonna walk that race. She's
Okay.
committed, which is why.
So villagers, if you guys are watching, if you guys are listening, please don't deprive yourself some fun just because you are pregnant or you're having a certain challenge. Please have some motivation to try it out, even if you think you might not be able to.
Yeah, and by all means, get dressed up, wear funny costumes, go all
Mm,
out. People love it. The vibe is always great, and it's
mm.
really just having fun and supporting a good cause.
I was hoping to ask Sandile one last question, but he's seems like he's no longer on the line. My question for you, Mariska, is what are your hopes for the future of the spinal cord research, and how do you see events like Wings for Life contributing to a long-term change? Hoping that he'll join us before we end the show because yeah, I'd like to hear his part of this as well.
Yes. Well, I think obviously the hope is that we'll actually find a cure. That is the main goal. But what we've seen with some of the research that the Wings for Life Foundation has done, and if you're interested, I can send you guys some really interesting stuff that you can share with your readers.
Yes,
But
please.
they have already made significant progress with small implants that they do at the back of the spinal cord. So far, they've only been able to help very specific paraplegic injuries, but
Mm,
we've seen how people have regained a significant amount of mobility in their legs. So people could actually go back to walking because of this implanted device.
mm,
Now, it's still very, very early phases, it's still very specific things, but that already shows us how far we've come because of technology and the research being done by this. And I know Zandile said, in his lifetime, and I think if ever we've been closer than ever to actually seeing significant regain of mobility through the you know device implants and things like that. So I'm very, very excited with that. But I think even if not that, just already like raising awareness. Because also,
mm.
I'm sorry, one more thing that I'll say about this is that
Yes, we have enough time.
okay, I'll keep talking then.
Yes, don't worry.
The Wings for Life Foundation. I mean, I specifically mentioned this one research project that they're running because this was making headlines a few years ago that they've really seen incredible results with this specific device implant. So basically it's an implant on your spinal cord at the base of your spinal cord and then an implant in your brain which then sends signals, because essentially if you break your spinal cord, what really happens is the signal gets disrupted, so your brain can't tell your legs to move. And then
Yes.
this device basically bypasses your spinal cord and sends the signal directly to the base of your um, the base of your spine to tell your legs to move. So that's been very good. Obviously, there's other conditions related to spinal cord injury that they haven't found cures for yet. But then also a lot of the Wings for Life Foundation's research also goes into rehabilitation, because as we're making strides with rehabilitation, we see, well, even if we can't give you back full mobility, we might
Mhm.
be able to give you significant more mobility than before, because maybe you weren't able to use your hands at all after your injury, but then through rehabilitation, you regain most of your hand dexterity again, which is perfect. So I
Yes.
think regardless, best case scenario, we find a cure for spinal cord injury. If we can't do that, then at least just really improving people's lives as much as possible. And then at
Mm.
the end of the day, I think events like this really just, raises awareness in a really, really great way. It allows discussions about these things. And Zanvili also mentioned how, you never really think about that these things could happen to you.
True.
Yeah, and I think our society still is very much kind of separated, where you might go, able-bodied people might go their entire lives without ever speaking to a wheelchair user just because
Hmm.
of the way society's been built.
Yeah, the misconception. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
whatever
so
it might be. So now you go on this run. Afterwards, you get handed a medal by a person in a wheelchair. Maybe you start chatting to them or something. And then all of a sudden you see, oh, wow, this person is just like me. There's like, they might just have slightly less mobility or different kind of mobility than I do, but we are the same person. And then that just kind of also I think shifts societal expectations and societal perceptions around disability and wheelchairs. Kind of
Hmm.
like hitting all the marks, right? We want to we want to see cures, we want to raise awareness, we want to change societal perspectives. So
Yeah.
if
Man.
yeah.
What did you say the device was? I didn't hear you properly. The device,
It's I can't remember the name of it. What
Mm.
I'll do is I'll send you that article and you can maybe
Yes,
talk
please.
talk about it at the show. But it's
Mm.
it's the Wings for Life Foundation's implant. It's basically an implant that they've done, which has seen
Yeah.
significant progress. But I'll send you that full article to read, and then you can
Yes,
share it with
please.
your readers. It's definitely
Please
something.
do. We'll share it with the rest of the villagers that are listening. Um, I would like to thank you, Mariska, for joining us today. I'd like to also thank Mr. Sandile Mkhize. He's not here with us at this moment, but I'm so grateful to have had a short conversation with him. We do hope to hear from him again, maybe after the event. Maybe after the
Yeah,
event, we could actually hear from him again and hear how was the event, how was it, and yeah, man, we love having you guys at Skulls Village Radio, and um, I'm truly honored to be having such conversations with you guys because I know nothing about sports. Like as I shared with you previously when you were here, Mariska, that I know very little about
yeah.
sport,
Well,
and
here's a question: are you going to come to the run?
no, no. Wait, let me not say no. Let me just yeah. Let me just. I'll fill you in the week as
Okay.
to what am I coming or not. Let me not write it off and say no. Let me try it and just say I'll figure it out. Try and see how am I feeling? Am I feeling like going? What's going on? But I have something to share with you. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago when you were here, I shared that I want to try a solo date. Now I went to a concert, a gospel concert
Yeah.
last week, Saturday. Not last week, the week before. Um, I went to a concert alone. So my parents just dropped me at breakfast
Yay.
and I sat there. I sat at the front row seats alone and I enjoyed the show.
Amazing. I am
Yeah.
so proud of you for doing that. That's incredible.
Yeah, but I still want to go on many other solo dates, such as like maybe going on to a restaurant, do
Yeah.
like restaurant reviews, or maybe on TikTok. I'll try and see,
Yeah. So
especially for
how
my birthday. I was saying my birthday is in June, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I've never been on a solo date, and I've last year for my birthday, I was planning to go on a solo date, and my family was like, "Girl, you are turning 21." Last year I was turning 21, and they were like, "Girl, you're 21. You're never gonna celebrate your birthday alone." And it was never a thing of no. I was a bit anxious about my birthday, but it was never about me not wanting to celebrate. I just wanted to celebrate alone.
yes.
And this year, I told them I'm taking it upon myself. No one is going to disturb me. You guys are just going to have cake, but I'm taking myself out to a restaurant. So I still need to do like book reservations and all that. But yeah, this is what I'm taking upon myself. I was thinking about it during the weekend, the long weekend. I was like, oh, what am I going to do for my birthday? And I was like, you've always wanted to sit alone at a restaurant and just have a good lunch.
Yeah.
So how about you do it for your birthday, Hlumisa? So that will be happening in June for my
Amazing.
birthday. I'm excited for that experience. I'm going to be sharing with you guys as to how it went. And yeah, man.
Well, here's my question. So you were obviously, the last time we spoke about it, you were quite nervous about doing a solo date. Also, just want to, on a side note, I love how both of us are journalists and now I'm interviewing you, but here we go.
Yeah.
You were nervous about that experience. So how was it actually like going on this solo date on
So
your
it was
own?
good. In my head, this is what I had visioned, right?
Yeah.
But because of like expenses, you know how expensive private wheelchair accessible transport is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take like a private transport um, wheelchair accessible transport and go and drop myself. Like I didn't want my parents to be the one dropping me there because in my head, I automatically thinking they're still around at Grand West. Yeah, they were still around at Grand West, but at the area that I was in, they were not there. But in my
Yeah.
head, I still feel like I'm with someone, even if I know I'm
Right.
not with them. So I need to try and plan from transport
Right.
right to the restaurant. I need to plan a whole vibe for myself alone.
Yeah.
And then, because in my head, because all the time, like, and they were messaging me throughout the show, are you okay? Do you need anything? I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. And also they were people that were sitting next to me. So one girl was sitting next to me and she was quite helpful if I needed to like reach out for um my water that I put on the floor, because at these events they aren't accessible enough in terms of tables.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can't give you a table, so I'd put my water at the bottom and I won't be able to reach for it. So the girl that was sitting next to me, she was very helpful and very like she didn't
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
assisting me, even though I felt a bit like, oh, I don't want to be inconveniencing, but she was very receptive. She was very willing to help, and yeah, like you said, strangers are really kind sometimes. Strangers are always willing to help. You mentioned that the previous week that we were together.
Yeah.
Oh man, I highly recommend going out and just having not the fear to ask for help. So I still have to go to that restaurant. I still have to go to the mall or by myself and go
Yeah.
buy those groceries or toiletries or whatever. So yeah,
But I
that's
think
me.
I think it's such a great, I mean, first of all, I'm really glad it was such a good experience for you and that you had the confidence to ask this lady for help, even if it was uncomfortable at the
Mm,
start. But and I think, as you said, also to see that willingness that other people really don't mind.
mm,
It's not that big of an inconvenience as we tell ourselves to ask
yeah.
help from other people. But also, I do think you should give yourself a lot more credit for doing what you did. I think even just doing the show on your own, even if your parents are still in the vicinity, that all alone is quite a brave thing to do. Like that
Mm,
takes courage, and it's such a lovely baby step because like you did have that safety net of your parents being around in case you needed them. And I
mm,
love the fact that you do want to push yourself to do something completely solo, and I definitely think you should. I
yes.
think you should make the Wings for Life run your solo date. But
I think I did.
I also think that whatever the restaurant on your birthday, that's such a beautiful thing to do, and I love
Mm,
taking time on my birthday, just spending it with myself,
yeah.
reflecting. It's
It's about you. It's about you. I never understand even people that like that like to credit themselves and say, "Oh, it's Hlumisa's birthday. We're going to be doing this." And I'm like, "It's my birthday. I should be telling you what are we doing."
yes, that's how it should be. It's your day. You should just be deciding, and you should be able to spend it however you want, even if that.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been so anxious about celebrating my birthday. Even now, with this year, I was quite hesitant. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I didn't know what I wanted, but then I reversed and I thought about it. I sat down. I wrote down. I love writing down my thoughts to just
Yeah.
to gather myself as to why I'm feeling a certain way, and as to just to get myself in order as to why am I feeling anxious about celebrating myself,
Mm.
especially for my 21st birthday. I don't know if it's because life hasn't been as quite easy as I thought it would be, after my matric year. So everything now just shut after my matric year. I was like, I ain't celebrating that. I ain't celebrating this. I am not doing that. I'm very much unhappy. But then 2024, I was like, you know what? You need to try.
Yeah.
I need to try and move forward. So at the end of 2024, I took it upon myself and I wrote down on a diary and I was like, girl, you got to move forward. So
Yeah.
2025 has been such a good year for me. Yeah, and it being a good year, I've also started here at Skills Village Radio in 2025 in January this year. So it has been quite an eventful year so far, and I'm making sure that my anxiety, my and me overthinking a lot, I'm not letting it overcome me celebrating myself
Yeah.
because yeah,
Amazing.
I'm not allowing that, and I hope you don't allow it to happen to you. Although yes, we all have those days where you feel like, ugh, not today, but I hope you don't allow um, your emotions to take you a part of your life because they're just emotions.
Yeah. I will say something I read that I really found helpful. I mean, I'm like you. I love to journal. I love to write stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
But great advice that I think everybody should keep in mind is, oh, Sandile's back. Do you want to ask me a question?
Yes, before you leave us, Adile, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence again.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's been going on. It's just terrible signal.
Yes, it's okay. Thank you so much for joining us again. And yeah, I've got one last question. It was just one question. What are your hopes for the future for both the Wings for Life mission and for the spinal cord research more broadly? What are your hopes for the future?
Well, I can answer this in two questions, right? I think there's obviously an end goal and what we can do moving towards this goal. So let me be honest, I'm not apologetic about it. I want more people with disabilities to be employed, to have agency over their own lives, and to have their own financial independence, not only physical independence. So this is what I'm advocating for the most while moving towards the cure for spinal cord research. And we can do this while contributing to that cause. And then obviously, I don't necessarily plan to benefit from, this research because, my life has found a deeper meaning, and I don't think I'd trade 15 years of therapy to walk. I'd rather enjoy those 15 years doing crazy stuff, right?
Yes.
However, it would be nice to witness somebody being fully cured and for us being able to solve this problem because, yeah, that opens up a whole new world for a lot of people in the future, which I'd love to see.
You are such motivation, Sandile. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and sharing your story. We are family here at Skills Village Radio, and we love having such impactful conversations, especially regarding all things disability. We are up for that. So thank you so much. I was talking to Mariska now, saying that I do hope to hear from you after the event. We would like to hear how was it like, even if it's not events that more events that you'll be doing in 2025.
Well, obviously, thank you so much for the opportunity to obviously talk to you guys and to your listeners. You guys will always have my time. Even if you guys have anything going on, please let me know. You'll always have my support, and I can do what I can do. For me, 2025, I'm just hoping to live well. Hoping to finish my honors as well at school. And then also, I'm a software engineer by training. That's what I do as my day job. I would eventually like to figure out how I can sort of assist in effectively, upskilling people with disabilities specifically to get into the industry because I think it's just a well-suited industry because of look, we can work from home. There's not much limitations in terms of that. There's many things we can do to be productive. But yeah, I just want to find a better way to do that. I mean, look, I do appreciate some of the programs that are out there in terms of government seaters and stuff, but I do find a lot of the money actually doesn't go to the people that should be benefiting. So
True.
I'm just hoping to figure that out sometime this year and then advocate for that to be done, and like I said, get my community into a better position.
Oh man, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence here at Schools Village Radio. I'd like to thank you, Mariska, as well. We will also hope to hear from you soon at Schools Village Radio. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. A special shout out to Sandile. We are excited to have you here. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.